Welcome to Sisterhood Sharing Sessions, Inc., a women's learning and empowerment social network comprised of women committed to empowering all women through sharing knowledge from life lessons learned, and known as Sisterhood Share Club contributors.
Debra is one of our, what we call our Platinum VIP Sisterhood Share Club contributors, which means she's a core member. She is here consistently, she offers feedback, she offers lessons, and I am so excited to have her here today. She's going to be talking about minimalism and downsizing. What she says, less stuff, more life. And so I'm really excited about that and the way that came about, which is a great story. I watched the Netflix Minimalism, which I thought was a great program. Later, when Debra and I talked about it, I was more intrigued and interested in what Debra had to say. It was more on a personal level. She brought aspects to what she had to say about minimalism and downsizing. So I'm just excited to have her here talking about that today. So without further ado, ladies, please give a warm welcome to Debra Benson, Minimalism.
Everybody, my name is Debra Benson, as Tanya said, and I'm very delighted to be here. I want to thank everyone for coming in and taking the time out today to allow me to share with you one of my life lessons. Thank you so much, Tanya, for your gracious comments. I really appreciate it. Let's dive in. A little about me. I'm 61 years young right now. I'm a widow. I have a son and daughter, 3 grandsons. I have business administration, marketing communications, graphics, visual, digital design. That has been my professional background. But now my current occupation is semi-retired. So this is no longer me. Despite several opportunities to keep bouncing back there, I don't want to anymore. And minimalism has a lot to do with that. My aspirations are, like it says, to embrace my life, living a life of spiritual authenticity. Me, who am I today? And minimalism, peace, and joy. So I want to talk about minimalism, less stuff, more life. What I'd like to hope that by the end of this presentation that I can alleviate from some people's minds, if it's there, the myths about minimalism, the negatives, and also the benefits about minimalism. So, at the core of minimalism is the intentional, keywords, intentional promotion of things we most value, and the removal of everything that distracts us from the things we most value. Okay? So how I got started on the minimalism journey. Long story short, I started in my corporate career at the age of 17. And I got my first job riding a 10-speed bike from place to place. So I was hardcore at 17 to find that job. And in my lifetime in the corporate career, I was laid off or let go from a big job, 3 of them, 3 times in my lifetime before the age of 55. My last job is when I went back to get my 3rd degree. Despite all the experience, it wasn't enough for anybody. So at the age of 50, I was back in college getting my fine arts. And I remember my late husband saying, when's enough going to be enough? This is the 3rd time you're going to school. We're in like our 3rd state, and you're back in school. We're 50, and we're supposed to be traveling and relaxing. When's enough going to be enough? My husband died of a massive heart attack in 2008, 6 months before I graduated with that 3rd degree. But I never forgot, he said, when's enough going to be enough? After that, I secured that big global job of marketing and public relations that I wanted. And I traveled all over the place. Credit cards, credit cards. I loved it. Living in the finest places, going to the finest hotels. I mean, it was like, this is it. This is life. This is what I've been climbing that corporate ladder for. And then in 2015, they decided, you know, it's not going to work, so we all parted ways. But at that time, I had just had enough. So I tried one more time. In the midst of all of that, I was entrepreneurial spirit. So I tried the entrepreneurial way. That's a whole nother shift from the corporate America into the myself corporate, all in me. And it's an awesome thing. It's an awesome thing. But it wasn't working for me. I just was tired. Enough is enough. I couldn't get another good job paying me what I was making, and I couldn't sustain the growth in entrepreneurial venture because of the money that you needed to invest in it, and also I was tired. I didn't want to put in the time. If you're going to be a success, right, Lisa, you have to put in the time, and I did. So I went away, and I resignated, and I did deliberation. So I resigned to the fact that it is what it is. You can't do it no more. And for 3 years, I just went back and just relaxed. In other words, you see, gone crazy, that's soon. Okay? Because this is just too much, it's too much, it's too much. I'm ready to coast now into my new lifestyle. So, intentional, I said in the beginning. Intentional. Your mindset. Okay? So, your two options in life, living or existing. I was tired of living. No, I was tired of existing. Let me flip that. I was tired of existing. I was tired of being on the highway for 45 to 55 minutes. One way. I was tired that was what my life was. My life was getting up in the morning and getting in the car and going to work and making someone else successful. Thus, entrepreneurialism is very good. Making someone else successful and not making me successful outside of the check and all the things that I could have, the stuff that I could have. And I was just existing every day to do that over and over and over again. And it was just enough. So fast forward to now. At the time of my intentional reflection, days and lifestyles gone by, it's over. It is what it is. I decided to take the road less traveled. A lifestyle different from the one I've grown accustomed to. My final decision was to purposefully choose. Purposefully, intentional. Purposeful. These are the cornerstones. These are the things that will ground you, but you got to step into them intentionally. Minimalism is like that too. So I made up my mind, and I began my journey. What does this? So minimalism. Let's stop for a minute. We're going to leave that picture here. We're going to leave that picture here. Yes. Anyone that want to share why they decided to join this meeting today? Maria.
Well, minimalism has been a very interesting subject to me lately because as I get closer to retirement, I know I need to downsize. And so, and I know I need to minimize my lifestyle. And so I'm here to learn more information about it. What does that really mean?
What does that really mean? I'm going to share and look into that. And I'm going to share with you what that really means to me. I'm going to come from a personal aspect of what minimalism has meant to me, and then I'm going to encourage you at the end with some tips and resources that you can go and get a lot more. Anyone else? Melissa?
Recently I've had a financial setback, and so I've been forced into minimalizing my living. So I came to get some pointers.
All right, I love it. And so I think I've heard what some people are going to get from the session. That was very important to me. And also how people heard about minimalism. Tanya had a video. Is it not good to share that video? All the stuff that you got to make you happy, you were spending more time maintaining the stuff, taking care of the stuff, transporting the stuff. And when you decide, well, I want to move, I want to downsize, it's going to cost so much more because I've got all this stuff to move. I'm going to need a big truck. Am I going to need another car or trailer? And this won't do because I got all this stuff. But it's just you when you're ready to downsize. You're ready to start living a little simple so you can now really enjoy life. What do we mean when I see the traffic? Off to work I go. Off to work I go. 5 o'clock, I go down W.T. Harris and all that traffic coming from IBM Drive. I mean, it looks like an exodus out of the city. And I just go, thank God, thank you. Because I don't have to do that. Now it's okay. So there's no right way and there's no wrong way. But the stuff, like the guy said, that's like a yoke. That's like what keeps everybody I want to do, but I can't do. Okay? But again, there's no right or wrong way for minimalism, which we're going to talk about. But what do you think? What is that?
That looks familiar.
Looks like someone's being overtaken by their stuff called laundry, their stuff called clothes, their stuff called this is just a lot. This could make somebody think that they need to get a bigger house and make a bigger room so they can have this laundry and then maybe they could build some kind of an elevator chute where the kids can roll it down and she doesn't have to, all these different things, more stuff. I went to a lady, a friend of mine, a new acquaintance, we're now friends, and she took me, we were going in her closet, one of the nice walk-in closets, lots of room for stuff. When she opened the door to that closet, I was like, whoa, it was neat. It was so organized, but it was filled from the floor. I mean, there wasn't an inch under it, all the way to the ceiling. She had folded neatly all the clothes I said, this looks like the garment district in New York. You know, this closet looks like, and when I looked at it, I really believe it would take her to wear all those clothes 3 years, and she would not have to repeat wearing anything. Why? Because just that alone is a small $19.99 U-Haul. Just for the closet stuff. It's a $19.99 a mile or whatever U-Haul for just that. Okay? This is just the living room. This is just the living room. I wonder when's the last time you read all those magazines and did he sit on that? What was all that entertainment stuff we had when we don't invite anybody over? So why do we have all? But when he gets ready to move, when he gets ready to downsize, when he gets ready to say I want to have more vacations per year, he's got to figure out what to do with all this stuff. So the next time he goes into Burlington or Target or Tuesday mornings, he sees something else cute to put somewhere and make sure you have room for that thing. But some people love this and it's okay because there's no right or wrong way of minimalism. There's no right or wrong way. To-do list. So many things. See, minimalism is not just about possessions. It's about your time. You can be a minimalist person with your time. Like people that are involved every meetup group, every social group, every networking group, and what quality. They can't go to all those things. So for me, like me, I found 3. That was enough. At least it's more like a mentor, because all the things she can teach me, I don't want to do that. But I don't want to do what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur, because I'm living a minimalistic life. Heard that enough, Sarah, right? Oh, Debra, what do you want to do? I just want to come and be. But so many things to do, even with the big house or the car, or you want to live a simpler life. You're living, like Marie said, ready to retire, or you've had some things coming up and you realize that I need to flip a few dollars, or I want to take vacation. And you can't, or in order to take it, you have to stay at a job you can't stand. Or clutter. Clutter is definitely a contributor to depression. Or misorganization can just make a person just feel overwhelmed. It's just, minimalism can help with that. There are benefits to minimalism. Key, intentional mindset. When I started out, it was like, what? I don't want to do corporate anymore, I'm done. I'm just done. To the point where I can cry every time I say, I'm done. Okay? I want things, but do I need all the things? And downsizing can take years. For me, it took years. Let me think, the first time I started, I didn't know it was minimalism, it was downsizing. 2004. Then I did some more in 2006. Then I did some more in 2008. I did a lot in 2009. And I did a tad bit more in 2010. I'm still downsizing. And I still have stuff to get rid of. I couldn't believe it. Okay? But less stuff, less work, less expense equals what? More money, more time, more joy. Wait a minute, something's wrong with that. Because the consumerism says more stuff makes you happier, and more money makes you happier. But how is this possible? To have less, to do less, but to have more. Less equals more. Isn't that something? Okay, so, like I said, I did that 2.5, 3 years, and I was trying to figure out how am I going to do this. How do I live on a little bit of money? Because I don't want to do what it takes to make the extra. How do I live on it? How do I live on that little bit of money? And who else is doing it out there? Who else is doing it? So I started researching. I started putting in the words. Google's my best friend. Live life easier. Have more joy. Do I want to live in a smaller house? Or do I want to live on a bus? Or how are the people on the beach doing it? You know those beach bums? They're beach living life large, stress-free, happy as can be, don't want no more. I found these guys, the minimalists. They are the bomb. They are. So I encourage you to go, but I went and I found these guys, I watched their videos, I read all about them. Basically, it's not in here, but this guy, I think it was this one. No, it's this one. This guy, I think it's Ryan Nicodemus. I can't remember which one, but these were friends. They were both in corporate. And one started living a minimalist life, okay? And his friend got back with him later, and I get this a lot. You look so much at peace. You look so, you're not rushed. You're just like, ain't got time, okay. No. And he said, he told him, I live in minimalist life. But this guy had 5 shirts, 5 pair of pants, 5 shoes. He was living in some little loft or whatever. He wasn't starving. He wasn't living in a terrible place. He just wanted to do what he wanted to do, and this is what he wanted to do. He just minimalized a lot of things. He knew he wasn't going to need more than 5 white shirts and the pants and shoes. So his friends started watching him and watching his life. What I said is, minimalists do not avoid material possessions. You can't give up the stuff you like, but they do intentionally avoid excess. Okay? Intentionally avoid excess. So the principles behind this lifestyle, there is no right or wrong way. A minimalist lifestyle promotes the practice of simple, frugal living. Frugal doesn't mean you're cheap, it means you're intentional. If you want your particular type of coffee, get it. But what do you want to give up to get it? I don't want to give up anything, then don't. But there's something you want, but you will give up something for it. It encompasses personal choices and beliefs about consumerism. You gotta get more. The pace, so check it. The beliefs about consumerism is not controlled by us, it's controlled by the world. Minimalists believe that. And so they're like, the world's not gonna control me, telling me the only way for me to be happy is to have more. Telling me the only way to keep with the Jones, the only way to have that corporate job, the only way to look like you fit in is have a bigger house you can't afford. And now you're a slave. The pace of life. Off to work I go. 6 o'clock, where I go. And then 5 o'clock, back in the traffic again. Now it's Friday, thank God. I'm gonna do all that laundry that overtakes me. And I'm gonna clean that living room for the weekend. This is your time off. And you're doing all that on your time off. Or friend says, come on, you want to go out? Oh, I got to do this. Or even in business, I got this meeting and that meeting, I got this network meeting, I got that, I got that. And that's what you're going to have. Unless you want peace where you can say, sure, I can go to the Indiana Ray concert at the Quick of God. Sure, I can come and see you. Sure, I can just relax and have a lunch with you. That's one of the benefits minimalism has given me, that I can say that because my lifestyle is different. Okay? Minimalist lifestyle, it's essence. Essence always makes me feel, inhale, exhale. That's what essence makes me feel. It's essence and character. Minimalism is about finding freedom. Freedom from the boss, freedom from a job I hated, freedom from not being able to afford the house I was living in, even though I loved it. It was my dream home. I loved it. But I couldn't do the thing, I didn't want to do the things it would take to keep them. I no longer wanted to be in corporate America. I no longer wanted to work like that. I no longer wanted to work weekends. I no longer wanted to bring the work home. I no longer wanted it. So in order to find that freedom, I had to make conscious choices. I had to find affordable housing for my new lifestyle, but not working that much. And not working that much meant I wasn't gonna make a whole lot of money. Okay? But that's what I wanted. More time, space, energy. It's meaningful. It's meaningful. A minimalist lifestyle increases happiness and supports one in achieving their life's purpose. So you can be minimalist with your calendar time. You can be a minimalist with your clothes. You can be a minimalist with, stop saying it, your shopping trips. And it's a choice. It's a choice. You don't have to think of the myth is, oh, I gotta give up everything and I gotta, I think I have still too much stuff. And then one part of me is going, what do you mean? You don't have nothing. Well, I looked in that closet and I ain't touched that stuff all year, kind of thing. But it takes minimalism for me to live the life I live. And I'm semi-retired. My goal is to take 4 vacations a year. Once every 3 months, I want to be looking for, it can be local. It could be, but I'm getting away from the house. I'm getting away from the general environment. It could be local, but away from the norm. Just 4 times a year. Once every 3 months. And not that, it could be one big one, but go to the beach, go to resort, go to just, how many of us can do that? When we're making a lot of money, well, at least we know but we make a lot of money, or we have a big house. I'm running into a lot of people like Melissa and definitely like Marie. I'm getting ready to go on retirement. How am I going to work that out? I'm looking at things, and this is one of the things, and it could be I'm getting ready to move into less square footage. Because most people, really all you need per person is 200 to 300 square feet. 200 to 300 square feet. So 2 people need 600 to 800 square feet. How the heck are we gonna live like that? Well, when's the last time you read all the magazines? When's the last time you used all that china? When's the last time and you know what? There's a price to pay for all that stuff. But if you want to keep it, you keep it. Some people's minimalism is every year they declutter. In January, they do all the closets. In February, they do the kitchen. That's minimalism. So it's not, you got to just get rid of everything. You can't have no diamond rings. You can't never have your Target shopping trip. It's personal. For me, this is what I've done. And minimalism's been my lifesaver, my alternative route. Remember to switch lanes, and adapt your life path. So I switched lanes this week because I had extra money. So I went to Concord Mills Mall and I bought, because I hadn't really been shopping in over a year, not really. And so I bought a couple shirts, not this one. I bought a couple shirts and stuff and I went to, there's a great place. I went to Cracker Barrel. They have nice summer shirts up in Cracker Barrel. It's not just a place to go eat. But minimalism allows me to notice things like that. Yes. To go off the beaten path, to switch the lane. But with minimalism, yes, alternative routes. How can I do this? How can I do that vacation? You ever stop that? Or how can I do little mini vacations? What can I do? And it could be where you're at. Or if you are with friends, if you're trying to save some money and you're with friends that are always shopping, you can't always go shopping with them because they're always buying. And then you get the impulse to buy because you're not going to get to what matters to you. Okay? And what I'd like to do is thank you for allowing me to share the life lessons. Everybody, write it down. I'm going to leave it on the screen. But these were some of my reference credits, as well as I would go to the minimalist.com. You can take a screenshot of this if you want. Becoming a Minimalist. Simplyfearless.com. That's a person that does a blog. When I started it, I just knew the Minimalist. Now, there are so many people blogging about minimalism and how it's helping their life, and they're sharing about it, and mothers and women and corporate people. Check it out. If you want a simpler life, if you want the freedom that you're struggling to get, and you find that I'm not doing something right, check out minimalism. It's vastly so much more than people think. It's not just architecture or a clean lines in something or a clean room without a lot of stuff in it. Minimalism is something that can be an internal way of living for you or internal way of thinking for you. I'm very minimalist about social media. I just have checked out. I have really checked out. And sometimes, lastly, my spirit is so in tune with it that when I do something that's kind of off the grain, off the path, my body goes, what are you doing? Why are you rushing? Why are you rushing? I mean, it actually stops and gets in front of me and goes, what are you doing? Why are you so agitated? This is not our life. And then I have to bring it back home. Yeah, okay. I got it. Slow down. Body don't want to slow down. But anyway, I say all those things because it's internal for me, it's spiritual for me. It's not just cut and dry, buy shirts, 2 pair of shoes. And I can't wait to do that for 4 vacations. That's my goal next year. Every 3 months, something. So I'm looking now, I look at small little towns to go to, nice little short vacations and stuff. So I want to thank you. I do have the sheet here if anybody wants to take a picture of it with the list. I want to thank Tanya, my sister, and the Sister Sharing group of Sister Sharing Life Lessons family for allowing me to share my life lesson in minimalism. Thank you.
Ladies, does anyone have any further questions for Debra? This was awesome. You did an amazing job.
Yes.
Anyone have any more questions for Debra, or just anything you'd like to share?
I'd like to share. Yes, you did a wonderful job. I thought that you expressed greatly the diversity of minimalism, because I think people often think it's just nothing. And I'm never going to just have nothing. That's not nothing. But there's a lot of things that I have applied minimalism to, but just didn't even think of considering it as that. And I thank you for highlighting that. Your presentation was wonderfully put together. I love your slides; they were very crisp, and your presence was awesome. You're amazing, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
And ladies, I can share, I know some of you were trying to make copies of this. She made this nice list for you. I can share this on Sisterhood too, so it'll be as a picture, you'll have a copy that way as well.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. I appreciate it.
Anything else anyone wanted to share with Debra?
Can I take you home today?
You can't take me home, but we can stay in touch, because I love sharing with people, or just hearing people maybe giving tips sometimes. But I'm all about sharing.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for being here today and supporting Debra, one of our core contributors to Sisterhood Sharing Sessions. Like I said, when she first told me about this, I was just excited because I had already kind of heard what she was going to say about it, and I think it's very meaningful.